Hello everyone and welcome to another vlog. I feel like things have been pretty quiet and peaceful lately and that there isn't really that much to vlog about, but I'm sure I'm gonna find interesting things to talk to you about. And because things have been so quiet lately, I've been really thinking about traveling again and how much I want to go back to traveling. That used to be such a big part of my life. I will make sure to travel every year and go to different locations and go back to Europe and see my family. And now, because it's been 2 years since I've been away on any kind of holiday, I feel like it's really time. On one hand, I really want to go and see my family in Europe, but on the other hand, I really want to go to some holiday destination. I want to go to a place that I haven't been before. So what I've been talking to my family about is actually booking some kind of nice holiday destination in Europe and bring all of them there with me. So sort of combining family time and holiday time, which I think would be just an amazing fun thing to do instead of going back to Poland and spending time with at my mom's place, which I love going back there, but I've been there so many times now. And I really would love to go to, I don't know, to Greece or to Norway or to Iceland, to Italy. There's just so many beautiful places in Europe, which actually I would love to ask for your tips and advice. What are your favorite places in Europe? I've been to a number of places already, but I feel like there's still so many I haven't been to, and I would love to see them all. So what are your favorite spots? What are your tips, ideas for my holiday family vacation? My entire family is in Europe, so it'd be just easier to start going on those kind of holiday family vacations in Europe. But in the future, I'll be asking you for your sort of global, all over the world tips and ideas as well. But for now, what are your favorite places in Europe? Where do you think I absolutely should go as soon as it's possible and doable to travel again? So something interesting has been happening on my street lately, and isn't it just such a cool experience when something happens that it brings the neighbors together? Because we were all in it. So what's been happening is that somebody has been listing different random addresses on my street online, claiming that you can buy COVID tests in our homes. So, and I have no idea whether that was a genuine human mistake or whether actually just somebody was bored and just like putting random addresses online. So God knows what was happening there. But it became quite frustrating because this street is really quiet and we all love it that way. It is where I live, it's a cul-de-sac. So not only it's a very quiet street, it's actually I am right at the end of that quiet street. So nobody comes here other than the few residents who live in this very end of the street. So where suddenly all these queues of cars started to appear on the street, it was really bizarre and weird, and we were all kind of looking out our windows, checking out what's happening. I could see my neighbor come out and talk to some of these people, and I did the same at some point. And it turned out that these people were looking for COVID tests, which then led me to wondering, thinking, like, what is actually going on? Why are people rushing all over Brisbane to random places, looking for these tests? So I jumped online to find out what was happening, because as far as I knew, and I don't really check the news, I don't really follow what's happening in the world. Somebody always tells me. But I jumped online, and it turned out that yes, the borders are open and we can start to travel freely. However, you need those tests for a variety of reasons: to leave the country, to go to work. If you had symptoms, you basically kind of become stuck if you want to do certain things and you don't have a COVID test. And so apparently our street became a target of fake reports about these tests being available. And as I kept reading, I just became more and more, I guess, horrified with what people have to go through. It seems that not only people are driving all over the place looking for those tests, but then when they find them, they queue for hours and hours, like up to 7 hours. And then sometimes they're still told that there's no more and that they are turned down without any test. And that made me think, oh my God, like I've been wanting so much to visit my family and start traveling again. And I got so excited that it's possible now. But maybe I should wait a bit longer. Maybe this is going to become more hassle and more difficult than it's worth. So I thought, okay, as much as I would love to go somewhere now, I'm gonna have to maybe wait another 6 months and see what happens. But this whole situation of suddenly having all these extra cars and all these extra people in our street made me actually think about something else as well. I have been listening to this audiobook lately called Lifespan. I can't remember the author, but I will put it on the screen. And I've been finding this book absolutely fascinating because it actually claims that aging is not so much a natural, necessary process, but it's more of a sort of a disease-like state, meaning that we can treat it and we can prevent it, and that we don't necessarily need to age. So you can remain in a sort of 20 or 30-year-old body when you're in 50 or your 50s, 60s, 70s, and on, etc., which is revolutionary because it means that we could be living longer but also enjoying our lives for much longer as well, without needing to struggle through aches and pains and diseases and the body sort of slowly deteriorating. And isn't that just absolutely fascinating? Because that basically means that we don't need to age. And the book is actually quite scientific in that it goes into great detail about all the things that actually make us age, make our bodies age, or versus things that actually keep us young or younger in our physical biological state. And obviously there are things like your diet and exercise and many others. But one of the things that the authors talk about is actually the air that we breathe. And people who live in cities age biologically for the pure reason of breathing the city air, because it is typically so polluted and so bad for our bodies that it's basically causing different aspects of our biological selves to start breaking down and aging much more quickly. So I really recommend that book. It is so eye-opening and so interesting. And so now that brings us back to that recent situation on my street where all of these extra cars and people were turning up. And that made me think, well, I kind of am in the city. I am in Brisbane. These are suburbs of Brisbane. It's not the strict CBD. I am about, but I'm not that far. I'm about half an hour drive from the heart of Brisbane. And yet I am surrounded by nature. So I guess it's about kind of maybe balancing, or in my life, it's about balancing the proximity to the city and all the amenities and facilities that the city provides, but also finding a spot that is just so surrounded by nature that it feels like being out in hinterland somewhere almost. And this is not to say that if you live in the city, you should like move like now. Although if you want to, absolutely. But I guess it is about having that awareness around what serves me, what is good for my body, and what maybe isn't. And hence, if I live in the city, can I get out to nature every weekend or on some kind of regular basis? Or are there other ways or changes in my lifestyle, diet, exercise routine, my emotional and mental habits, etc., that maybe are aging me and that maybe I can improve or change to keep the well-being and health and usefulness of my body for as long as possible. To be honest, I do sometimes experience fear of aging, fear of old age, and fear of dying. But if I can think, or if I can change my thinking about it or around it, and to think that I could live till 120 and beyond, and keep a sort of youthful, well, happy, healthy body, that changes a lot, because that means that I'm not even halfway through my life, like nowhere near that. There's still so much that I can do and explore and have fun with, and it's not just gonna be sort of a downhill decline towards being way too sick or tired to finally enjoy all the things I want to enjoy. Particularly that I have such a huge travel bag that I love traveling so much, and right now, or for the last 2 years, things have been really restricted travel-wise in the world. So I personally have spent the last 2 years at home. I did move from the Gold Coast to Brisbane, but I have barely gone anywhere really, except for kind of local one-day drives, etc. And Queensland truly is a paradise. This is where I live. This is the whole state where Brisbane and Gold Coast are located. It is such a paradise. It is such a beautiful area, and I have some trips booked within Queensland a bit later on, within the next few months. So I'm really looking forward to that. But when I think about all the places in the world I haven't been to yet, I get just so excited, and also a little scared if I was to think that first of all, that the pandemic is going to keep going for a long time and that I won't be able to travel, or second of all, that I might hit my old age fairly soon and that I just won't even have the energy or the desire to travel anymore. And right now my heart is just so keen to go somewhere, to travel again, to explore new lands, new places, to see more, to meet people, to explore new cultures. Like, oh my god, that's like one of the top priorities in my life, to travel the world, to go everywhere that I haven't been to yet. Let me know if you're resonating with this, or if this is like sounds like a crazy talk to you. I know that in the beginning of this video I asked you for tips for Europe travel, but actually let me know about your favorite places in the world. Like, let's talk globally. Where should I go next? Where would you go back next? What are those top spots, top locations that absolutely everybody should go and visit, or they're so beautiful, just beyond anything you've seen before, or just you just enjoyed being there and it was a very awesome, fun, interesting trip. I am compiling my list of destinations that I really want to go, so your idea might just be my next point on my list. Thank you so much for listening, for staying with me, and for sharing your travel ideas. I look forward to reading them in the comments below. And as always, I always respond personally. Can't wait to communicate with you guys through the comments. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I'll have the most beautiful day.